Hello, I'm the Greek Geek because I'm 50% Greek and 100% a geek. So I didn't exactly rush to do my second review for the X-Men franchise because New Mutants has been delayed, probably indefinitely, and we're never going to see it. So I don't need to worry about the lead up. So I can just review these at my leisure. People say that this is one of the best superhero movie sequels of all time, and I'm inclined to agree with them. It is a fantastic follow-up to X-Men, raises up the stakes, and it is a really good movie. Let's get into it. The call for the Mutant Registration Act again arises, and Colonel Stryker organizes a raid on Xavier's school. Meanwhile, Wolverine goes looking for answers to his past. Meanwhile, Storm and Jean try and recruit Nightcrawler to the X-Men. Meanwhile, Magneto proposes an alliance to Charles Xavier to try and take down Stryker. So most of the cast from the previous movie reprise their roles in this movie. Well, except the ones that are dead. Well, I should say except for the villains that are dead. So we have Brian Cox, who plays Colonel Stryker. Excellent casting in my opinion, fantastic military arsehole kind of guy. Alan Cumming is Kurt Wagner, or Wagner as he says, slash Nightcrawler. Again, really good casting, never could have picked that he would be able to play Nightcrawler, and I really have trouble imagining anyone else doing it better than him. Shawn Ashmore is Bobby Drake slash Iceman. Aaron Stanford is Pyro. Kelly Hu is Deathstrike. She's credited as Deathstrike, but she's Lady Deathstrike, so I'm just going to call her Lady Deathstrike. So as the previous one, everyone's performances are great. Like, as I said before, Colonel Stryker is played by Brian Cox, and Alan Cumming, who plays Nightcrawler. They were really big standouts for me, especially Alan Cumming. I thought he did a magnificent job playing Nightcrawler. So the theme of the mutants being able to be represented as any kind of persecuted minority still stands, but in this movie, I think it leans even more into comparing the mutants to gay people, which is evident in the following scene.
We still love you, Bobby. It's just this mutant problem is a little...
What mutant problem?
Have you tried not being a mutant?
And it's a bit more on the nose. So the action is so much better in this sequel. Like, my biggest issues with the previous movies that the fight scenes weren't that great. It showed that the mutants had a lot of great powers and that, but it wasn't really done in a super entertaining way. This one improves on it so much. There's so many great action scenes and everybody using their powers in this movie. Like, the opening scene is fantastic with Nightcrawler just tearing through all the guards in order to try and kill the president. When Colonel Stryker and his guys raid Xavier's school and Wolverine is just slicing people to pieces and just stabbing them and just going absolute berserker mode on them. And Magneto escaping prison, just showing that he doesn't need much metal, just needs a minute bit of metal, and he can take down everyone and everything. Fantastic scene. Pyro just blasting police cars and police officers, just showing off his pyro powers. Pyro powers, there we go. I'm gonna run with that. Wolverine versus Lady Deathstrike, just the way that they could cut into each other and stab each other, and they both just heal up and just go at each other again and again and again, trying to overcome each other. And Jean stopping the dam from overtaking the Blackbird, just using the absolute limits of her power in order to save everyone. So many fantastic action scenes in this movie. Special effects. Like in the last one, there are some pretty bad special effects that did not age very well. Again, this came out 17 years ago. CGI technology has improved so much since then. It's not a big issue for me. Like, I notice it when CGI is pretty bad or hasn't aged very well. But for me, it's not a big negative. I know some people, it would be a big negative, but for me, it's not that big of an issue. But I will say that some of the special effects do seem a little bit worse, even though this movie had a much bigger budget. They must have spent that more so on the casting. I would say that this is the Empire Strikes Back of the X-Men movies. It improves so much more on the original film, and it goes for a much darker and grittier kind of movie. Everyone's separated and doing their own thing, and it's just so good, and it even though the final act does go for a touch too long. So would I recommend this movie? Yes, I would highly recommend this movie. One of the best superhero movie sequels of all time. And if you've already seen it, go ahead and watch it again. It's a fantastic movie. And as always, thank you for listening to me ramble on about an X-Men movie for a few minutes. I do appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.